Blog Talk Radio.
Good day, and thanks for joining us at Mindful Living in the Adirondack Alps. I am coming to you from the northern Adirondacks, which are beautiful mountains, hence the Adirondack Alps, and this is Kathy Homeyer. And I've created a program called Nutritional Energetics, and seem to be within my resort a person who does the chefing here and the food. And of course, so as you go down the rabbit hole, you realize everything is energy. And I've had a great time with it. And today we're talking with Tyhson Bannigan. Hi, Tyhson.
Hi.
I'm so happy to have you here. Once I got learning about energetics, I've seen your work, and you seem to be quite passionate about what you do.
Yes, I am a bit passionate about what I do. I guess I'm called the energy detective.
Yeah, I thought so. Energy detective. Let me. So you do quite a number of things. So I'll just read a really short version of what you do. You're a certified spiritual coach, an intuitive, a Reiki master, heart resonance advanced practitioner, called the energy detective, a master dowser and teacher, diviner, geomancer, and you provide wellness assessments, exorcism of possession, and karmic releases, to name a few.
Yes, and it's like almost I'm an energy junkie, I guess. I'm always interested in the latest and greatest to help release people and the awesomeness of who they are.
Right. And we were talking briefly the other day. You were talking everything that you have to offer. And for the folks who are in my program, and certainly anybody who listens to this beyond, I'm just going to let you go ahead and tell about who you are and things that you have to offer in your different programs.
Yes, I mean, I love the fact that you're going to be teaching people about nutrition and food and how to deal with energy and energetics from that point of view. I get at it slightly different, although I must say food is a very key aspect for me and, not only in my own lifestyle, but in working with clients. So good, healthy food, good, clean water that's alkaline, alkaline foods. I'm a vegetarian. I do dairy, but very little of it. I don't drink alcohol. And so keeping the body temple healthy and pure and clean, does allow us to generate a great deal of energy to get us through the day and makes us nutritionally wise, makes us conscious eaters, makes us more sensitive that, of how we ingest our food and how we, pay reverence to it. So all of that's really important. Energetics, I get it, is a little bit more holistic, but food is definitely a part of that. So when people work with me, the first thing that I do is do an energy assessment on a scale of 0 to 100. And the shocking thing about that is when I do that is most people are at 50% or less. So what do I mean by that? It means that no matter what they eat, no matter what good quality water they drink, no matter how much exercise they do, 50% of their daily energy that they generate is going elsewhere. So it's like having a leaky sieve or a leaky aura. So my job is to help people take back their personal power and to be able to stand in their truth and learn how to manage their energy system, their whole energetics and all the chakra levels so that they can be in control of it. And so what causes that energy drain? Well, like we say, it can be food, it can be diet, it can be junk food, it can be a whole sort of number of things. But one of the biggest things that I work on is intrusions into people's energy fields. And there's two aspects of that. One of them is man-made interrupters. I think the last time I checked, there's something like 1,700 man-made interrupters into the human energy field, and I'm sure that's climbing. So that's, Wi-Fi, cell phones, mind control, electronics, dirty energy, heart, on and on and on and on. It's just we live in a sea of energy most of which is not beneficial for us. And for some reason, we don't seem to have studied a lot in that area about the effects of sound on our system. And of course, sounds that we hear are only a small part of that spectrum. There's many, many subconscious sounds that we don't hear in the ear but really affect us. Like, when we use the dog whistle, we don't hear it, but the dog does. So our range of hearing is far more than just what we physically hear with our ear. It goes to much, much more subtle energies. So all of that is sort of gunk or energy affects our bioenergy field adversely. So that's one form of intrusion. The other is disincarnate beings, men, humans interfering with other humans through, anything from voodoo to black magic to all sorts of yucky stuff that people tend to do to each other, which is really traumatizing the person psychologically or energetically using mind and mind control. And while this is not very nice things to talk about, it's part of who we are at this time, and something that when we're aware of, we can start to deal with. So what I like to do is help take the person from where they are to where they want to be and take back their personal power so then they can be energetically standing in the truth of who they are. So, if you think about it, most people, it's 50%, some are 75% of their energy is going elsewhere. I say to them, at 50%, how would you like to wake up and have twice as much energy? Or how would you like to wake up and have 3 times as much energy? So that's a bit of an overview of energetics from that point of view.
Yeah, very helpful. I know I met you with because I had come across an issue that was an intrusion, and that was actually led to a planetary type of issue. So that was really interesting to me. And nutrition we do nutritional energetics, but you're right, I teach the whole multidimensional part of it. It's not just the 3D foods or the clean foods, but all the way up through the energetics to sound, which is one of the higher and more helpful dimensions, I think. And a lot of people, there's a lot of people doing MP3s and listening to healing tones and all that sort of thing. You do all sorts of different things with sound, and also with the program is what you do is teach dowsing. And I think a lot of people know what muscle testing is or dowsing, and a lot of people might toy around with it, and a lot of people don't. So if you could just mention a little bit about what you do with dowsing and how you teach that.
Yeah, so when I say that your energy field is 50% or less or more, what I'm doing is I'm tuning into your energy field and using a pendulum on a scale of 0 to 100 and dowsing out the energetics of your system. So when it comes to food allergies, or for anything for that matter, being able to douse accurately, what is the effect of this positive and negative on the human energy system is very, very valuable. So basically, like a dowsing instrument, which can be a rod, which is just a piece of wire. It can even be a coat hanger bent at 90-degree angle, or a pendulum, which is basically a weight on the end of a string, or a bobber, which is a coiled piece of wire with a piece of weight on the end that bobs up and down. All of these are like antennas, on a bug. Like a bug has an antenna to pick up a certain energy of the crop that it feeds on to see whether that, particular energy of the plant is below the positive range, is in the negative, and then it's attracted through that disease or disorder to start munching on the plant. Well, the dowsing tools are just like antenna. They're extensions of our bioenergy field to make us more hypersensitive of energy around us, the sea of energy, so we can interpret it more accurately. So I call dowsing really just training wills for intuition on demand. So once you do dowsing or muscle testing for a period of time, then you really can do this without using the tools and get the answers that are accurately, and then you start getting words, impression, visions, from the from the 5 clairs, clairaudient, clairsentient, and all the rest of that, and then you're on your way. So dowsing is a great beginning way to get in touch with your intuition. And, of course, there is some caveats around that, and that is, the answer you get is only as good as the question that you ask. And then the second caveat is that, do you have permission to do this? And then the third one is, are you sure that the answer is coming from your higher self connected to source rather than being, coming from your ego? So that's the dowsing part of it. And dowsing also has to do with energetics, like numerically, like numbers. So, for example, to bless food, which would be very valuable for your people in the course, if you say 995 is a blessing on your food, it has enough energy to not only bless your food on your plate, but if you're in a restaurant, everybody in the restaurant and the cook in the back. So the energy field of that is gigantic. So there's a hot tip for you, 995. So 995. If you move into the areas, it's Trinity times Trinity times Trinity cubed times 5, which is the number of humanity. And there's something about that. You can douse that out with an arrow. The field is just gigantic. So it's a really good thing to bless your food. It blesses everybody who's growing the food. It's just, a way of being sensitive to the energy that ends up on your dinner plate. So when we move into energy from sound, I work with quantum sound therapy. Basically what it is scalar wave technology. In the readings that I do, when you come on, we do a session. I guide you through a meditation, ask you the question, if you could wave a magic wand, what would you like? And then I record your voice. And there's more information in your voice than in your fingerprint. And so from that, I can then do a printout of what's happening in your chakras from a physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, and future potentiality. So it gives you a good baseline. And then from there, a soundtrack of about 23 minutes is produced. You listen to that soundtrack once a day or whenever you feel stressed or out of sorts. And because the dominant energy always wins, that higher vibration in your sound file removes the lower vibrational frequencies. And so the beauty of that, I call it the no fuss, no muss, no analytic couch technique, because you don't have to know what those lower energies are. They just, as your energy overall is raised, by doing that, the lower energy field drops out. So it also at the same time charges scalar water. An 8-ounce bottle of water is charged with your personal energy. It makes up 4 American gallons, and then you drink 4 or 5 glasses of the charged water with your intention. It flushes the cells, it hydrates them, and it puts the intention in at the cellular level. So now you have the sound from the outside in, and you have the water from the inside out. And so then you climb the ladder of consciousness, letting go.
Tyson?
Using sound.
Oh, okay, just a minute. It looks like, this episode is set to be just about a minute and a half long. I set it for 15 instead of 30. So we gave this as a great teaser this morning because you're coming back to do some live clearings with some folks, right?
Absolutely. I can hardly wait. I love to do that.
So within the time we have left, let us know how to get in touch with you, what your website is, so people can take a look at more before the session itself, and we'll let people know when our radio show is going to happen live again so that you can come back and talk to people live.
All right, great. So the best place to find me is Tyhson, it's TYHSON, BANIGHEN.ca, and then that has all the links to my online academy, the sound work I do, all the different things, my radio show, the wellness show. There's links everywhere, so that will provide you sort of the hub of what I'm involved in.
Okay, you gave, just in those few minutes, you gave such awesome tips. Just from your experience and your knowledge, that has been awesome, and I certainly appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day, and I will let folks know when the next show is, and we'll take some callers.
All right, I can say, like I said, I really love doing this work, so I'm looking forward to those live calls.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Tyhson.
All right, bye for now.
Okay. Tyhson, are you there?